Hello, hello. Welcome everyone to the Mud Club podcast. I'm KJ Mud.
I'm Joseph Mudd, and what is a podcast without a couple bloopers, right? But the best part, we're not even going to edit them out. That's going straight into it. This is raw footage, baby.
Yeah, y'all saw that firsthand. Yeah.
Guys, we got awesome duo. So 2-for-1 special yet again, guys. Honestly, they really don't even need an introduction, but I'm going to give them a little one anyways. It's not going to do them any justice. But these guys, man, they've been crushing it. They have a awesome name, the BashBros. If you know who I'm talking about, you know them. These guys have been just dominating the Arizona markets and the industry over there. They've been crushing it, doing some wholesale deals. They've helped tons of people. I believe, if I heard yesterday right, most of their flow is coming from JV deals, which is phenomenal because everybody who's done JV deals knows that you have to filter through a lot of crap. So what's remarkable is that they are getting good quality leads from these JV deals coming through because of the reputation that they've built. So without further ado, guys, I'm going to bring them up. We got Tyler Townsley and Eddie Marin. Pleasure, guys. Pleasure.
What's up, guys?
That was an amazing whole intro you guys put together with your whole Mud Club deal. I was truly impressed. I'm like, these guys got a whole intro on this thing. They're slacking.
Hey, that's consistency, man. It didn't happen in just one day, that's for sure. And it definitely didn't happen because I did it. That's even more for sure.
It's more so me. Like you said, he just shows up.
I just show up. Yeah, I'm not talking. That's it.
But he's good with interviewing, so he'll do you guys justice tonight.
There we go.
We're excited about it. Thank you again for having us on. This is actually really cool and really exciting.
Oh, again, like I said, the pleasure is all ours, man. The funny part is, you know what? I don't even want to get into it yet. Let's start off with you guys. How did the BashBros come to be? Like, start wherever you want. We can start individually. We can start together. Whatever you guys feel is the right point of the origin story.
Oh, man. Well, Eddie, I mean, you can take that one.
So how it all started, it's actually really funny. So in 2017, and I was introduced to wholesaling by Cody Barton, right? Pace's partner. So before Pace and Cody were, not even together at all. And so what happened was that Cody and I and Tyler all did insurance together. Cody left, didn't like it. We left, we didn't like it. And I started hanging out with Cody, and I'm like, hey, dude, what are you doing? And he goes, yeah, I'm just wholesaling. I'm like, well, I want to get in real estate, but I always thought you needed all this money to be an investor, quote unquote investor. And I didn't want to be this flashy dude, this fake rich kind of dude. So I was like, well, I don't have the money, so I'm gonna have to go work and raise capital. And he goes, no, dude, just come check this out. So hung out with him for a little bit, learned about wholesaling, got into it, started doing it side by side my insurance world thing, and stopped, went to the dealership world went people, like I'm telling you, like I was at a very down point in my life, where I spent all my money on marketing and got left with nothing and no return, and to a point where I was like, damn, I literally don't have any money to buy more leads to sell insurance, so I'm gonna have to go figure out how to go get some revenue, right? So got into the dealership world, did that for 3 years, and Tyler, one week I sat there and I'm like, I got this, like, I don't get panic attacks, I don't get anxiety attacks at all. And I get this anxiety attack like crazy, like for like 3 days straight. And like, it's one of those things where like I knew that I've already overextended my stay at that dealership because I was making 6 figures. I paid off all my debt, saved all this money, and I was just like living the life. I was able to do whatever I wanted to do whenever I wanted to do. I just couldn't afford a Ferrari, but I did everything else that could afford anything else. Tyler and I were golfing literally every other day, if not every day of the week. And it was like early in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, just golfing. They got to a point where like this, like God, I'm not trying to bring religion into this, but reality, God puts these dreams and aspirations inside of you. And then if you decide to ignore them, first he's going to tell you, hey, here's a dream, go chase it, right? Or go do it. And you're like, oh no, I'm comfortable, right? And then he's going to say, hello, And then you start to kind of get like a little knock or something, something happens. You don't even realize it, but something happens out of the ordinary. And then you're like, no, I'm still good. Right. And then all of a sudden it's like, you're going to listen to me or you're going to listen to me.
Yeah.
Right. And so then he like, what I explained and what it felt like is that he basically put a box around you and was just like, you literally can't hear anything but him. You have nothing else to go to but him, right? And so I finally I prayed about it. Like it was like the downest times I've ever had in 3 days. And I called Tyler up afterwards and I'm like, bro, I'm not supposed to be here anymore. We got to go do something. And Tyler and I were rooming together, by the way. Him, his fiance, and myself. We're all rooming in North Phoenix area. And he goes, well, what do you want to do, dude? And I'm like, bro, I'm freaking out. I need to go do something. Like, I'm making all this money, but I feel like I'm behind. We're worth 10 times more. We got to go figure something out. Like, I felt like I was blowing up inside, right? Out of nowhere. And Tyler's like, okay, what are you going to do? And I'm like, dude, let's do real estate, but not the wholesaling side. He goes, I told him the wholesaling side absolutely hated it because back in 2017, I didn't know about VAs. I thought VAs is like, how do you go hire someone across the whole world on the other side of the world to come work for you, right? So I was cold calling, I was door knocking, trying for dollars, doing everything, mainly cold calling and getting the phone slammed. And I'm the kind of guy that I'm like, you get eventually, a lot of people are, they get slammed and you're just like, all right, I'm done, right? And so that's exactly what happened. I told him like, I don't want to do that. Tyler, let's go buy properties. Let's go learn how to buy properties. Let's go buy one rental. Let's do it one at a time. So Tyler's like, bro, let's do it. I'll do it for you. Let's do it. Let's rock and roll. Let's get it together, right? Really, he did real estate specifically for me because I brought it up. Otherwise, he would have stuck to trading, right?
I love it.
And the funniest part about it all is that, and Tyler, you're going to tell a story that you're going to hate to tell, but we learned from it, right?
Mm.
But and it's going to help other people, right? And so it was funny. Tyler and I every night. I'm not even joking. Every night, bigger pockets. This is when Pace was starting to do like his drive arounds and stuff. As a matter of fact, I went with Pace at a drive around towards the last year of Cody. When Cody and him first started hanging out, like I went on a drive along with Pace, and I was his translator because it was my lead. But I asked Cody for help because I didn't know what I was doing, and Pace came by, and I was translating for Pace to the sellers. It was a funny side note there, but every night bigger pockets, and it got to a point where Tyler would sit at this back leather couch, and I'd be on the computer with the HDMI, looking at all these bigger pockets and stuff, and all of a sudden, Tyler's just sitting there, and he's just like nonstop. This guy was asleep probably every other day, and he goes, "Bro, we got to do something else." Then we hear then we hear about sub two, and he goes, "Dude, let's talk with Cody." So we hung out with Cody, met up with Cody, and we asked him about sub two and Pace, and he goes, "Dude, just it's not really nothing to do with me, but Pace runs it, but it's a lot of good creative stuff." And so essentially, that's when we started. We launched, yeah, right there you go. That's a good thing, right? But we launched we got Tyler's the kind of guy that I'm the guy that makes sure we have all the pieces when we're gonna jump off of this plane to build another plane. Tyler's the kind of guy that he's just gonna jump off and he's gonna be like, yo, let's go. And I'm like sitting there, I'm like, bro, you forgot the bolts, you forgot this, you forgot that. Whereas that's where it keeps us together quite a bit because it's funny because the first year it took us 8 months to get our first deal after joining Sub Two. 8 months of consistent, and we invested a lot of money the first year because Tyler had money, I was making six figures, so we both had money combined, and we were just pounding out marketing, not knowing what we were doing because we were so ignorant or selfish to partner with people until eventually it got to a point where we're like, hey, we need to reach out to a sub two leader and hopefully they can lead us through our first deal. So at least we learn. Yeah. Right. And so I'm going to pass the baton to Tyler and to add a little bit if you have anything to add, but hopefully that answers your question on how all of this started.
Yeah, basically I'm here because of him. That's it.
I got a similar story, man. I probably would have never even jumped into real estate, or at least not this soon if she didn't light the fire. So I'm right there with you.
Yeah, our wives are always starting stuff for us, huh?
There we go. There we go. I wasn't gonna say it, but somebody had to say it, right? No, we just tease. We just tease, man. But yeah, Tyler, anything you wanna add to that before I start ripping away with some questions?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I also was previously quote unquote in real estate before Sub 2 as well. For those of you who don't know, my dad actually passed away in 2016 and he left 2 houses to me. And so I was kind of forced into real estate because someone had to deal with these houses. And even though I had a half sister, um, it got to the point where I ended up like buying her out. Um, and we had 2 houses. We had one in Arizona that I was living in for like a month, and then one in Washington that had a tenant in there. And I thought I was doing pretty well. And so I got in contact with the the management company in Washington for that property, and they were like, "Hey, your tenant's acting up. He's starting to have the police called, and there's like a rundown boat in the front yard, and it's just like not looking like a good place. We should go check on it and see how everything is inside." They went and checked on it. The whole thing was a disaster. They're like, "Hey, you're gonna want to probably kick them out because they're not treating this house well." Luckily, in Washington, it's kind of tough to kick people out, but this guy just decided to leave. Thank goodness I didn't have to evict him and go through that whole process. So we finally got him out, and I go in there, and we're looking. Me and my fiance are like looking at this house and how much work it's gonna need. The whole thing needs to be redone. It's just like it's a split level. You go downstairs. The whole bottom of the house smells like dog piss. The whole upstairs has this nasty like different smell, and we're walking around trying to find this other smell. We pull out the fridge, and behind the fridge there's a nest of roaches everywhere, and it's just disgusting. It's like almost worse than the dog piss smell. And so me being the smart guy that I was, I'm like, you know what, let's try and save some money on this. I'm gonna fix this up myself.
Genius idea.
I'm not a handyman, by the way. I don't know what I'm doing. I
It's
usually,
just a man with hands, you know.
yeah, man with hands. If I'm going to do something, I'd rather pay someone to do it because that's just how I roll. But I'm like, all right, well let's fix it up. So I actually stayed there for a week and like was pulling this carpet up and trying not to throw up while I was doing it, and just demoing the house. And it literally lasted like 5 days, and I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. This is ridiculous. I'm gonna pay someone to do this. So I ended up flying home. One of my buddy's dads actually GC'd the whole thing, fixed the property up, and this was right when COVID was starting. I actually got this property listed fully on the market the day before COVID shut the whole country down in
Yeah.
2020. And it was really weird because all the lock boxes stopped working, and so my agent was like, "Hey, I don't know how to tell you this, but we can't use an MLS lockbox to sell your property because they stopped working." I'm like, "What do you mean they stopped working?" They're like, "Well, they actually got shut down because of this COVID thing." And I'm over here thinking, "Oh my gosh, I got to sell this property. I'm going to lose my butt if I don't get this thing sold." Luckily, she came through. She had this other lockbox that was not attached to the MLS. She put on it. And then I was so grateful because I got 2 families to go in there. I had the property listed at 525. The first family came in and they put in an offer at 525, and I'm like, "Oh, that's amazing." except they wanted an inspection contingency and a contingency on when their other house sells, then they could buy it. And I'm like, all right, well, I mean, that's better than nothing. The second family came in and they were so sweet. They wrote me, I don't know if you guys have sold a house and you got like this super nice letter saying, oh, our family would love to live here. Here's a picture of our family. Our son has been dying to live in this area, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, this
Oh,
is
they were
awesome.
trying to butter your biscuits.
They did. And they put me 25 grand over asking. And I'm like, all right, 100%, no contingencies. I'm taking it, sign the dotted line, sell it. 2 years later, this is the part.
By the way, I try to buy this house. I try to buy his houses. I did, and he goes, no, right? He didn't trust me. He didn't think I was capable of doing it, which he was right at the time.
2 years later, may I remind you, this house is like fully done. I did everything. Like, I'll show you guys a picture after this, but it's just nice as crap house. Everything's updated. So sell it to this couple. Two years later, I get a text message from my buddy's dad's wife. She says, hey, your house is on the market. I'm like, what? You're kidding. So I look it up and it's listed for $795,000. I sold it for $550. And I'm like, no. I got my heart.
That's not even the best part. That's not even the best part.
my heart dropped.
Keep it coming.
And so I'm looking, and I look at this property the next day. The next day it says pending, and I'm like, oh, that's great. They're gonna get $800,000. Awesome. I just missed out on $250,000. So I'm like looking at this property every single day until it closes. Finally, the thing closes. What do you guys think this thing closed at?
Man, the way you guys are putting this out, I'm guessing the milli.
I know, right?
Bro, $950,000.
Oh my god.
2 years later, dude.
All they did was add a fence.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's why they were like, we'll take it.
Talk about appreciation, man.
Right? So that was my, you know, it's funny. Not just that part's not funny. I'm not laughing at that. The funny part is that house I actually took subject to, because my dad owned it. He had the loan in his name, and yeah, I didn't do the paperwork, but I just started making the payments and left the whole thing in his name. Actually transferred the title out of his name into my name and left the loan in his name. So before sub 2, I even knew what sub 2 was. I technically did a sub 2.
Nice.
So, moral of that story: don't sell your houses.
Yeah, that's the funny story you hear, man, is that everybody that sells their house ends up regretting it for one reason or another. So that is the moral of the story. Just hold it forever. The hedge funds are doing it right. Man, that's I like it. That origin story has some juice for sure, and I definitely like it because it shows that everybody comes from something, and that you don't just like wake up one day just knowing how to do this. Like that's 100% the truth. Like even though you guys had the money, right? Y'all had more money than we ever had to begin with, right? We were starting off broke. So y'all had money getting into this, and still it took time and effort to learn and go through these mistakes. So out of all of that, I want to highlight that part, because it doesn't just take money to do this. There's the knowledge and experience that goes behind it. And so what y'all did eventually, right, you ended up partnering up with other people in the community, which is the second thing I want to point out, is you started doing that house yourself, right, to try and save some money. Which I'm sure you saved a ton for those 5 days of effort. But then you ultimately got a relationship, right? Used one of your relationships to come in and finish the rest of the work. And I'm sure he gave you a great deal for doing the work.
Oh,
so,
dude, he GC'd the whole thing. He only made me pay him $10,000.
Oh, wow. Incredible.
Killer deal.
Incredible. Yeah. So those are the things I want to point out, extract from that story, right? Is you need time and experience. And you need to lean on those relationships that you're building and make new relationships along the way. So cool stuff, man. Cool stuff. I really like the story.
Something that Eddie said that I really liked was God, because that's something like we're huge on and we're always preaching about, even if people don't like it. Like that's how we've gotten through a lot of like I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, like pits. What is the
Trials,
Trials,
tribulations.
Backs against the wall,
No.
pitfalls.
dark valleys.
word?
Any one of those.
There's a specific word that it's gonna come to me later, but it's like
Pitfalls.
Rock bottom.
yes, rock bottom. That's the
There you
word.
go.
Rock bottom. Yeah. So like there were so many times where like Eddie was saying, you had no other choice but to lean on him and focus on him. And I don't think any of the things that we have are possible without him. And I like attracting other people that also have the same values and mindset, because it is very important. And I'm super thankful for God giving us all of these amazing relationships and opportunities to make money and do the things that we love. So I'm glad that you brought that up, because that is our number one in our business.
Definitely. Yeah, I got like 3 crosses hanging out in this room.
Everywhere.
And then there's a sign right there. It says God under one nation. Hang on, let me get that in the camera. God under one nation.
What's that under?
That's my baseball bat. Man. That's my
Yeah,
baseball bat.
You get a lot of home runs with that thing, huh?
You know what? It's pretty funny, but that baseball bat has made us a lot of money. You know, I've had a lot of people want to just invest with us because they're like, this guy, I see that on his wall. I see all that stuff on his wall.
This guy gets it.
And I know his values align with my values. Like we haven't even had a conversation yet, but they come up and tell me that. I've had multiple people tell me that. So it works, right? You know, just display your values. Don't be ashamed. There's the next lesson, right?
Yep.
All right, guys. We talked about the origin. Let's talk about what you guys are doing now, right? I'm sure everybody asked y'all how the BashBros came to be, so I'm not gonna ask that, right? Everybody asked that.
That's for another day.
I'm sure y'all get blown up with that question all the time. So what are the things that are going well in y'all's business? I know Eddie gave us just a small insight into what's going there. Like, look at the title, right? It says how the BashBros closed 18 deals with over $325K in net profit in just Q1. Like, how did that happen? What are you guys doing so well?
3 years in relationships, integrity. Number one thing for us is our reputation, is our name, is when someone thinks of the BashBros, yeah, they're funny, they're fun, they're handsome, they're good looking.
They got nice mustaches.
They got nice mustaches, right? But besides that, we want them to know that, yeah, I vouch for them. I've lended to them. I've done a deal with them. I know that they will perform, or when they tell me they're going to perform, they're going to perform. Or that, hey, yeah, I did give them a deal to try to dispo, but it just was a little too much or whatever it was, but the experience was great, right? We always want to put everybody in the best possible situations, especially our end buyers and our sellers. So reality is, like, it goes back to the God thing, right? It's doing things behind the walls or behind closed doors the same as you would if you were in front of everybody else, right? And so for us, number one thing was building and establishing relationships like nobody's business. We go to networking events. We go and talk with everybody. We try to be as intentional with everybody as possible. Can we get to everybody? No. Can some people feel left out? Yes. And I'm sorry if we made you feel that way. But for the most part, we want you to succeed. And the cool thing is that as much as I want to be your friend, I want to see you. I want to get a message from you, not saying, hey, do you want to hang out? It's, hey, because of you, I got this. Right? Because of you, I got my first deal. Because of you, I'm doing this many deals a month now. Because of you, that becomes, you become more of a friend to me there, because now I'm not just here hanging out with people around a campfire talking about doing deals versus being out on this campfire with the people that are actually doing deals, right? And so really the biggest thing for us was that when we first started, we've always been a JV concentrated approach. We've done direct to seller. We've done some deals there. We're not the best at direct to seller. That's how we have our other relationships, Shad and Nancy over there, reach out to them if you ever need anything, but just letting you know, make sure that you let them know that the BashBros, the Bang Bros did send them or send you, right? But realistically, they're the ones that, we'll put people in the right places for that. But with the JV model, I've had so many leaders in sub two and off of sub two, people that I connect with that I've talked to plenty of times, like a really close friend of ours here in the Valley, Andy and Jared. They're phenomenal people. They're great people. They're funny. They're just one of the dudes, right? They're dudes, right? At the end of the day, but they all say the same thing. JVs, people have the worst experiences with JVs a lot of the time because, like you mentioned it earlier, there's a lot of time wasted. There's a lot of, oh, I have a deal here and they're paying full value with $90,000 of entry at a 7.5% interest rate. And they're like, it's a banging deal. It's creative, right? So it's all about learning how to set the expectations and filtering out the people right away, letting them know that, hey, look, you can send me deals, you can send us deals, but just know that um, it's almost like we teach them what's a deal versus what's not a deal, right? That thing that's where a lot of people get stuck on is like, what's a deal? It's creative, right? Well, okay, great. Yes, it is a deal to someone out there, but how hard is it going to be to find that someone if you're needing $90,000 down, 7.5% interest rate? Because I will tell you this, Tyler and I talk about this. We always preach this all the time. Tyler's acquisitions. He is the winner. He was the winner of the closers is it not octagon? Closers, yeah, octagon, right?
I think it was Octagon, right?
Yeah, closers octagon with Daniel Keanu this last golden ticket event. He won. He beat Jerry Norton. He
Hell
beat.
yeah.
Pace did lock up like a 15 thing, but realistically, overall point wise, based off the way it was judged, Tyler did end up winning, right? So he handles acquisitions and I'm in charge of disposition. So I find everybody that needs a deal, everybody that has a deal, but I'm not going to take full on credit. I am going to come in and say, like, when you put the right people in the right places, you will get the results, right? And we're going to get into that here in a second. But for the most part, the number one thing was filtering out, like, training people right off the get because we do meet and greets all the time with sub two and non sub two students and all that stuff, right? But realistically, like we will almost like give you a quick rundown on what to do and how to handle things, like what's an actual deal, so that way you know what you're looking for versus just, oh, you want to sell, okay, great, right? That's my point on how we started almost systematizing our JV model, um, and trying to make it more, because we love JVs, quite honestly. They're not it's not as how would you say it? You can't um, what is it called? You can't control it as much, or you can't KPI it as much as you would say, right? As you can as direct to seller or direct to agent and whatnot, and direct mail and stuff. But we've gone into a point where we're getting it to, doing 8 to 12 deals a month on average, right? Some of them less, some of them more. Obviously, I say average, but we're averaging at this point 7 deals a month according to our KPIs as of right now, with 3 in the works right now. So, Tyler, what do you think? What's your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go the direct to seller route, you need money at the end of the day. It's like we've done it all. We've done cold calling, texting, PPL. I haven't done direct mail or PPC, but all of it costs money at the end of the day. And so the reason why we love JVs is, number one, because it's free. Number two, because there's an unlimited amount. Like you can meet so many different people with old leads, new leads, whatever, that can be creative deals, can be cash deals, whatever it is. It's not even just the acquisition side, it's also disposition. It's everything. And so I think that's why we've flourished in the JV route, because it's the least costly and you can still make a lot of money doing it. Like, and it's not just JV, it's referrals too. Like we had 5 Mesa deals and all those were referrals, and all of those were freaking banger deals. And so that wasn't just because we were staying inside and not talking to anyone. That was because we were getting loud on social media. That was because we had a brand. That was because someone trusted us to get the job done with sellers that spoke Spanish that not everyone could communicate with, and we got the job done. And I don't know, it's just really cool seeing and meeting new people. Like, for instance, there's another lady that has been in sub 2 for a year and a half, and we helped her get her first deal ever. and it closed. I think it closed like a week ago. And she has
Let's go.
one. She had two more under contract. One fell out because the agents and the agent wasn't responding to us, and that one went to foreclosure, unfortunately. But there's another one that has a really good chance of closing. That's a bigger deal, but she was so thankful because she had never done a deal, and us coming in and helping her get a deal done. It's just like one of the best feelings you could ever have.
Yeah, like
So
tears and everything. Like when you see like the true impact on everything, it's like because it's a year and a half. We have so much information inside Sub 2 and outside of Sub 2. Like you have so much information, but no one actually gives us. I wouldn't say no one does, because Pace does a really good job with all that stuff. But being more intimate and spending the time to do it with each individual person and really walking people through the process to actually get their first deal. And our ultimate goal was because it was a free master class, completely free, no like nothing. If you're trying to get into the direct agent world, like it's talkwithagents.com, free masterclass. You have all the recordings there, and our goal was to get a contract at least under contract, but mainly close before we finish the 5-week course, right? And so we got two under contract, but one of them lost it because the agent wasn't on top of it, and it went to foreclosure auction. We did everything. I had to call the broker myself, and I was just like, dude, like your agent's gonna make this go bad, right? So it ended up going bad. Ended up getting sold, and he lost the house. And so, but now we have another one. We closed that one, so we ended up closing it 2 weeks after we finished the master class. But that was her first deal ever. Brought in $12,000, like $11,800 in assignments, but off of JV and direct to agent, all free, right? So really cool.
Free as me, baby. That's what I've been saying for years. So yeah, we 100% agree with everything y'all just said. Those are the same business models that we are following as well, direct to agent and JV. So absolutely, I wholeheartedly agree with everything you said. And again, it just goes back to those relationships. And hang on, let me pull up the very first comment when we jumped into the show. That was the very first comment. Like immediately, all I said was the Bash Bros, and boom, that was dropped in right there.
that's the best TC out there.
Best TC right there. She handles all her stuff.
That's awesome.
Hey, and the TC can make or break you guys,
100%.
right? Did you
110%.
not having a TC and still doing the deal flow that y'all were? You would have to slow down.
Not possible.
Yeah, I tried it. We tried it.
Eddie was actually our TC for I don't know, most of the business that we had, because he dealt with contracts, and I'd never done it. And so even though I was like acquisitions, I'd be like, hey, Eddie, we got a contract. Send this contract out, dude.
I was like, I can't. I was like, no, thank you. I was like, you gotta do it.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Stay in your lane. You're good at.
That's why we love our TCs. Shout out James and Esther on our side, and shout out Perla, right? So, man, I know we're kind of at the limit here, so I really don't want to. I don't want to take up too much of y'all's time. We always say it's a 30-minute call, so it's up to y'all. We can hang out or we can jump show right now. Totally up to you guys. Either way, I don't know what y'all's night looks like. We can give it another 10 minutes.
Let's do that. Let's talk. I want to give as much free value as possible, things that have helped us, because it's really fun and cool listening to the big top dog, the Titans and everything like that, on how to get started and what to do. But reality is that it's almost, I tell people, listen to them, but also really pay attention to the people that are actually doing the deals firsthand, because they're in today's market and they're in today's everything. Sales is sales at the end of the day, but what are you doing to get those deals in general? So we don't classify ourselves at the very top as Titans, but we're getting there. We're super excited about it. All we need is just more branding and stuff, and then we'll get there. But realistically, we are leading enough to where we can still reach down to bring everybody up with us. And that's what we want to do. We want people to come on the board. We want people to, do deals with us. We want people to do all that stuff. As a matter of fact, when people do deals with us, our original intention with these shirts, the one that Tyler's wearing, actually, the navy blue one, is we were going to send out a gift basket to all the people we've done deals. So if we've ever done a deal with you, you're going to be receiving a gift basket. We're just looking for a batch. Our buddy has a company that does these shirts, and we're just going to send them all out to everybody to do like a little gift basket, and you maybe send them a hat. We'll see. But realistically, we want to give some value to get people into getting the first deal, so that our title here isn't just talking about our past or how we got started or anything like that. We want to talk about like when we got started, like if we can go back today, summarize in 10 minutes, what would we do different, or how would we handle things, or what would we do to even get started
That's perfect. That's perfect.
Right.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, amazing. Tyler, do you want to say anything? I just got a couple things to say, obviously.
Looks like you're on a roll. Keep going.
Okay, so guys, clearly the title states it right there. 18 deals and over $325,000 of net assignment fees. Now again, the question is like, wow, you guys netted $325,000. The answer is we netted, I'd say 2/3 of that, a little bit over 2/3, but the other rest were from the JV partners. Right? They're from the people that brought us the deals, the people that needed help finding a buyer, people that needed help closing a deal or transaction, right? Again, one of the biggest things for us is making an impact and plug in wherever we can. We're going to give as much free value to you as possible. People call us up all the time. They're like, hey, Eddie, I have a question for you. What would you do in this situation? Boom, free. Go get it done. Go get it under contract, right? Hey, Eddie, I got a question here. Boom, free. No, we're not putting ourselves in your transaction ever. The only time we ever get involved is the very first things when I tell people, hey, if you ask us, can you give them a call? Right? Hey, can you jump on a phone call? Can you do it? When you want us to be more engaged with you guys and be in the deal and work in the deal, yes, that's when we will be involved in the transaction, specifically because we're most likely going to lead you all the way through the finish line as well, right? But number one thing, guys, is the fastest way to get to your first deal, in my opinion, right? This is all opinionated. Everybody can go door knock and get the first house to sell them their house, right? Or you can make one call and get a contract, right? Or you can send one direct to seller. You can do one PPL lead, one PPC lead, and you get your first deal. But in my opinion, what's the highest chances of you getting your first deal much faster is two things. One, networking with a bunch of people around you, right? Knowing that you have the BashBros here or another leader pack, you have KJ and Joseph right here as well, right? People that are doing transactions, and you ask us and say, hey, what deals are you guys looking for? Or what kind of deals can you move? Meaning, what kind of deals can you dispo, right? And then go in the free Facebook group. Go, if you're sub 2, go in the sub 2. If you're if you're Gator, go in the Gator. Go in any of the communities that you're in and start actively searching. Okay, and start searching for the people that, hey, I need help with something, and then plug them in with us or Joseph and KJ, right? And then connect. And once you connect, you're still part of that transaction for bringing that lead or that prospect, right? The second thing, right, and to tag onto that, right, is making sure that you're always leading people with the right intention. You're not saying, hey, I'll buy your house, when you're really never the buyer, but you just want him to send you the information so you can pass it on to us or pass it on to whoever. Don't do that. Be very transparent. Hey, look, my partners and I are looking for a house just like that. Would you be interested in just send me the information? I'll see if this is something they'd look into, right? If they have a house under contract. If they need help with something, hey, look, I have very reputable. I have guys, I have a team behind me. If you ever need help or have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out, right? Stuff like that. Just be a servant, right? Second thing is, and we'll touch base a little bit more in detail, but the second thing is, in today's market, right? Remember something: wholesaling is not real estate investing. Wholesaling is sales and marketing. Sales and marketing. So your marketing channels are going to change depending on how the economy is, right? When Tyler and I first started in real estate and wholesaling, we were talking as much trash about agents as Pace was, because we're like, these guys, because they were so rude to us that we're like, screw them. We don't need them, right? We're never doing deals with agents. Screw that, right? Our boy Jonah, from Cali, now he's in Colorado, right? He was all about agents. But we were like, hell no, I don't know how you're doing that. It's not even a sustainable business because agents suck back in the day, right? Now they're all our best friends. Now
Yeah.
they're calling us, hey, I got a deal here. Can you make it happen? Right? Today's marketing direct to agents is the way to go if you want to get a free deal very quickly because you're already skipping step one, which step one of the conveyor belt is finding out if you want to sell or not.
Yep.
If it's listed, they want to sell. You don't call an agent and say, "Hey, do you think your seller wants to sell their house?"
It'd be kind of funny.
Right? So the direct to agent approach is a business to business approach first, and then you're going to go to direct to seller, which is business to consumer approach, right? So there are two different approaches when you're talking to these. The psychology behind all of this is completely different. You don't call an agent and say, "Hey, why do your sellers want to sell?" Right out the get go. You have to establish that relationship, bring down their barriers, bring down their walls, and get on their good side. So then, therefore, you can then talk about some of the deals that they have and potentially might work for you. But it's got to be a win-win-win. You got to be willing to let other people make some money too. 100%. We want all our partners to make more money than us, or we're going to make as much money as we can together, right? And that includes our agents, right? So that's, in my opinion, today is go find people that are doing the deals that are already searching that need help closing the deals and connect with a team behind you. Or two, go to the direct agent approach and reach out to them and still connect. Once you feel like these guys might be interested, get with a leader. Get with a leader. Get with someone that knows that they're doing transactions, someone that knows creative finance, someone that knows cash transactions, right? Send them the lead and say, hey, my partner is the one that can explain a little bit more on this. When would you be available? Great. Then send it over, right? Send it to KJ and Joseph. Send it to Tyler to call, right? And then we'll help you close that deal. And guess what? You're going to get paid on it. Not just a referral fee, but you're going to get paid on it as an actual JV with us and with Joseph and KJ, right? Those are the two fastest way you're going to get a deal. The third one, I always say here and there, is that if someone has it already under contract, right? People call it a daisy chain. People call it whatever you want to call it. At the end of the day, if you can connect the buyer to a contract, you're doing a job. You're getting paid for it, right? It's only daisy chain, and it's bad when there's people in the missing links. Like there's a link in the middle that's kind of like rusty and kind of janky and sharp and
It's
not
when there's no transparency. That's what
correct. The integrity, right? That's why daisy chains are talked down so much. We daisy chain all the time, right? Our average daisy chain is like $5,500. I didn't do the marketing for it, right? We didn't do the marketing for that daisy chain. We just reached out.
Free deal.
Hell yeah.
Free deal.
Kaylin has a question, and I know the answer, but might as well drop that plug in right now, right, guys?
Yeah, 100%.
Do you guys teach people how to talk to agents and build those relationships? 100% we do. Like Eddie was saying, we have a little free masterclass where we help people like gain confidence on the phones, role play, et cetera, actually like talk with agents. And that's why it's called Talk with Agents, because that's a skill that is going to benefit someone forever. A whole goal in that is not only to just do deals with students, but actually get them to do deals on their own. And I think when one or two students actually does a deal on their own, that's going to make us the most proud. Yeah, it's amazing helping other students do deals, but when they go do it on their own, I don't know. It's like I've never had a baby, but I assume it's like watching your baby go to college or something like that, or graduating high school. So yes, we do talkwithagents.com, where we do a Zoom every Thursday at 6 p.m. Arizona time, and we go over all this stuff.
And how much was that again? Did I
$3.99.
$3.99.
Leading with value. I love that.
Yeah, free 99. Yeah, we're not charging anything for services, meetups, or anything like that for at all. We are the Arizona. We're two of the three Arizona regional leaders for Sub 2. So we do host Friday AZ Power Hour events here at our office here in Scottsdale. So if you're in Arizona, don't hesitate to reach out or go to azpowerhour.com, spelled out, azpowerhour.com. Register and you'll get live updates on all our events that we're doing in case we ever have to postpone an event. But it's every Friday at 4 to 6 because we want to help people do the direct to seller, right? Like I was mentioning, Shad and Nancy, they got a whole squad behind them of their team, and they bring in their leads. And so we have leads, we supply the leads. You get live practice. You get live practice on everything, guys. So, that's every Friday. You're more than welcome. You don't have to be a sub 2 student. If you're curious, if you're interested, you just want to be a fly in the wall, right? Come in and check it out. Now, it's we sit down, we work, and we get to calling, but we also network, we brainstorm, we answer questions, we show you guys cool stuff, whatever it is, every Friday from 4 to 6, right? In addition to that, talk with agents thing, that's completely free. And quite honestly, guys, the more people we help, the more people want to do deals with us. So our goal is to get to 100 people this year, new first timers doing a deal with the Bash Bros. That's our ultimate goal, right? And however that works, however it's going to happen, it's going to happen. I'm very confident in it. God has made this year the biggest year yet so far, but it took us 2-3 years to get here, guys. It doesn't happen overnight.
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
You guys dropped so much value.
I know.
I'm so thankful that you guys wanted to come on to our podcast. I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to do this.
Well, thank you guys for having us.
Yeah, seriously, it's an honor to be here. It's awesome. We appreciate you guys are doing something really cool, especially with you guys in multifamily stuff, guys. Like raising all that capital and stuff like that. You guys are very. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I was very surprised from the first time we went to. I think we went to the Twin Peaks. The first time we all met. Remember that? Yeah.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. I was single as a Pringle for sure, 100%. But yeah, we were out there. We spent time together, and then now you guys are out here buying multifamily units, guys. We're not even there yet. You guys are like up here now with the multifamily, and we're still cranking down over here, But very impressed with you guys. You guys are doing amazing things as well. Hosting a consistent podcast every week, giving as much value as possible. I mean, shoot, that's awesome.
Yeah. Hey, no, we agree with everything you guys are talking about, right? It's about giving the value back, because when we made that switch to the multifamily, right, we said, hey, this isn't for us, but this seems like something that will be. No one really helped us out. There was not really anybody doing multifamily at that time, so we had to just kind of go and figure it out, pay a bunch of money to learn all that stuff. And so we wanted to, same thing you guys are doing, right, just be able to give value back to people. So we absolutely agree with the theology of what you guys are doing, and it's powerful.
Our values align.
Yeah,
sure.
And what you were saying about helping 100 people get, even if you made no money on those 100 people getting their deals, they're going to go out and figure out more deals and bring them back to you, and that's going to be more compounded money, and not just the money, right? Relationships. They're going to word of mouth. They're going to go and start telling their friends. And they're going to start bringing more friends and more friends and more friends. And it's just going to keep compounding and compounding until you guys are the JV people, right? Anybody that has a deal.
I already think of them as
I know, yeah. It's like, man, I got this deal. Where do I take it to, right? Man, I'm going to take it to the Bash Bros, because they don't just have a cool name. They can help me get this shit across the line.
And they're funny. I think
and
we're fun to work with.
Right. And the great mustaches.
Right. Yeah.
Oh man. Guys, our daughter is crying for some reason, so we're gonna go deal with that. Closing remarks and shameless plugs. What do you guys got? Is there anything? Let's go to shameless plugs. Anything that we did not already mention? We got what was it? Talkwithagents.com and azpowerhour.com. Anything else y'all want to throw out?
Bash Bros JV. Bash Bros JV. So BashBrosJV.com. Right. We'll lead you. Let's see. Okay. So perfect. Yeah. So BashBrosJV.com or BashBrosBooking.com. We're eventually going to switch it to BashBros.com. We had to pay $9,800 for that domain, but we bought it. Right. But it's the website's being built. But as of right now,
Eddie's a domain whore. If you guys don't know that already.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So
he's got bashtoes.com.
Oh man.
Listen, I knew I was gonna get rich. I knew I was gonna get rich, right? So feetfinder.com, all that stuff, I'm gonna blow it out of the water. Bashtos.com. People are into the weirdest stuff. It's gonna happen. No, I'm just
Is
playing.
this where the couch comes from?
So yeah, that's exactly what it is, right? But no, yeah, for sure. We want to shout out our TC because her and her team are beyond phenomenal. They got the systems and operations that they're building. Their website is tcdealpros.com. Make sure if you do go over there, make sure you put under referral, just put that the Bash Bros referred you guys, or actually even just do Muds, do KJ Joseph Mudd YouTube channel, right? Put it under the referral link because they're so nice that they even kick us back whenever we do refer people to them. But she handles us, and I know she handles deals for some other titans in this industry. So I know they're doing their things right, right? And so tcdealpros.com, phenomenal team, phenomenal. They handle our wraps, they handle contract write-ups, they handle if I can't sign because I'm out of the country or something, like we can Perla and her team will also sign for us, and we'll sign. I forgot what it's called when someone else signs for you. What's that?
Authorized signer.
Yeah, authorized. Yeah, no, not even an authorized signer. No, I know Perla's in here.
Power of attorney.
Not even a power of attorney because it's Perla. If
That's
you're
why
here,
we have TCs, guys. That's
right?
exactly why we
Yeah.
have TCs.
We don't even know what it's called, but they do it.
Yeah,
Yeah, they'll
we
sign
don't even
for
need
you,
to
right?
know.
Yeah, exactly. So they'll do that, and they'll have everything's automated. It's really cool, very easy to work with them. But also, in addition to the Bash Bros, JV, TC Deal Pros, if you want to come in person live here in Arizona, if you're in Arizona, come to the Power Hours. I'm telling you right now, guys, there's this girl, right? Her name is Sid. That's short for her real name, right? But she came in first. Literally, this is what I'm talking about. First deal that she calls, right? Doesn't answer. Second time, no answer. Third time, answers it, gets it in her. We get a hot lead, right? We follow up with that lead, and she makes the second call as well. And then we end up getting under contract, and we are now doing an ovation on that deal in California, and we're expected to make $50,000 on that novation from someone that came to Arizona Power Hour and called the leads that Shot and Nancy that provided. And so yes, we are partnered with everybody, but it doesn't, like, the point is that it's happening. We're doing live calls and we're getting deals out of this stuff, guys. Right? We have Pat Split that was here with us the other 2 Fridays ago, right? Talking about Pat Split and all that stuff. So we give you as much value as we can whenever we can. So that's azpowerhour.com. Register for that. Man, talk with agents. If you want to learn about a free marketing channel. We don't pitch any products on any of the stuff that we do. Again, the only reason I'm doing a shout out is because we use TC Deal Pros. And then also AZ Power Hour, we run it, and we don't pitch any products besides just getting your butt in here and making these calls and learning the process. Thursday nights, we don't pitch any of our products. I literally tell everybody, don't buy any of the stuff that we're telling you besides one, right? Which is PropStream, because you need data, right? And so that is like the only thing. But go register that if you want a free lead channel, because that's where we get a lot of our deal flow is direct to agent in addition to the JV model. Okay, Tyler, what am I missing here?
There's too many to count. That's it.
Yeah.
I love it. Then I think we're at the
Nominee.
end, guys. Oh yeah, nominee signer.
Nominee signer. Yeah. Yep.
There we go.
TC's always come to the rescue, even after hours. That's commitment, guys. After
I'm
hours.
telling you. And she's got like 43 kids.
And another one on the way.
And another one on the way.
I take it back. That's commitment right there.
Yeah.
Hey, she has files for all of them.
Literally, yeah. She's building out our team, or she's building out the entire team for the next when they're all out. You know.
There you go. That's the way to do it, man. You don't even have to go look for any new team members. You're just building them within the team. I love it. Guys, it has been a pleasure. Any closing remarks? Anything at all you want to leave the people with before we hit it with our little outro here?
I'd say thank you guys for having us on. It was an awesome pleasure to be here, and I hope we'll see you guys at Squad Up Summit.
We'll be there.
Yeah.
We'll be
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. If you're going to Squad Out Summit, guys, we'll be there as well. If you're in Arizona, come hang out with us. Again, we're going to start doing a lot more live events as well, with sub 2 and non sub 2. So if you want to come out, learn real estate in person, network, be with people, come out to the event. They're really fun. We're here in in Old Town Scottsdale at our office that we just got. So come out, hang out, and get to learn. Thank you so much for having us, KJ and Joseph. Mud.
Yes, sir.
Mud
Thanks,
Club.
guys. Y'all are awesome, man. We'll have to do a round 2.
Let's do it.
All righty. We'll
Bye,
see you
everyone.
guys. Thank you.
Bye.